Hello everybody, welcome back. I hope you're doing great. So we have another Saturday video at night, and this one I contemplated a lot into making because when I started making the notes for this, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not. But then other things started happening, and I'm like, okay, at this point I'm worried. I'm worried about the future of this group. So I decided to bring back the notes that I had, and I added a couple of things, and I added a lot of articles and all that, so I will be reading a lot. I'll leave everything again below if you want to read the whole article. I'll be just focusing on making stuff on them, and I decided to talk about it because I'm worried, and I still up to this point I don't know exactly how I'm feeling about everything. Like, I know I'm worried about the group, but I'm still figuring out exactly how I feel, because this is just weird in such short amount of time, so many things, and I'm just like, what is happening? You know what I mean? So I'm doing this video as a sense of I'm worried about this group, and maybe as the video progresses I'll be able to figure out exactly how I'm feeling besides that, because I still haven't put like a specific word to describe it. But I am going to be talking about the Boyz, okay? And you may ask yourself why. We are going to be talking about a couple of things since they made the move from one company to the other. I want to say this now, I'm not saying that what they did is wrong. You know, they did what they did by moving to another company and everything as a group, which is something that I don't see as much in K-pop. Honestly, they did it for a reason, whatever that reason may be. It's totally fine. So I'm not saying what they did is wrong and that is why everything is happening. No. But we gotta be honest that since that move has happened, so many things have happened in just a couple of months that I'm like, what is happening? Another part of me doesn't really want to blame the company, because as I was looking for information I realized they haven't been that much, you know, as a company, so they're fairly new. So we're just gonna talk about a couple of things. Again, I know the company that the Boyz were under before was horrible, but this one just looks weird. And again, maybe because they're a new company, they're learning, they're figuring things out, maybe that's why. But so many things in just a couple of months, I'm just like, I'm worried. Like, I'm worried about this group. As I was looking for information and all of that, I saw a lot of, you know, opinions of people online and all of that. It made me even more worried about it. So we are going to talk about a couple of things. I love the Boyz. Again, I want to say this now because I don't want people taking that I'm like criticizing what they did, because that's not this. I love the Boyz. I started with them when they debuted, but then I kind of lost track of them, completely honest. Happened. It wasn't until I did Road to Kingdom and Kingdom shows that I like realized, oh, the Boyz, and then I started following them a lot more. And now seeing what is happening right now with them is like, what's happening here? What's going on? Why so many things are happening? Why am I seeing people not following them anymore? Why am I seeing the fan base get smaller because of these things? You know what I mean? So we're just gonna talk about things, but first I need to tell you a little bit about the Boyz. Again, everything that I'm gonna read and letting myself guide for, I'll leave it below. There is gonna be a lot of links, so I apologize for now because I was trying to find statements for everything that was happening, all of that. We always have to start with telling you a little bit about the group. I'm not gonna get too into it because again, it's not like a get to know or anything like that, and as always I'll leave this page below if you want to read more in detail. But the Boyz are right now a 10-member group under 100. They were before under ESD Entertainment. We will talk about that company in a second. They originally debuted with 12 members, one left, and right now one was kicked out of the group not too long ago. It is one of the things that we're going to talk about, and two other now are on hiatus. So they actually debuted on 2017, and it was with a mini album called The First. Now the members that are right now active as a group, in the group I should say, are Jacob, Jonghoon, Hyunjae, Yuyeon, New, Q, Sunwoo, and Eric. Those are the ones active right now. You have Sangyeon, I think is how you say his name. He's the leader right now. He is doing the military service. I think he left around March of this year, if I remember. So he still got a lot of time left in the military service, as far as I know. And it's sad that this man is doing the military service and he's seen everything happening from afar and he cannot do anything. It makes me sad. I don't know how he's feeling about everything, but you know, he's the leader. And Kevin is on hiatus, if I remember, it's because of health issues. And I think it hasn't been that long. I think it was in October, somewhere around there, that they announced that he was going on hiatus. But that is the basic stuff from the Boyz. Now, when they started as a group, their popularity definitely grew little by little. But as I always say, and I said at the beginning, I feel the show Road to Kingdom and Kingdom were the ones that put them on the map, for sure. Their popularity grew a lot. I think it was because of the performances that they were showing on those two shows, which is why I feel like after that, the company definitely started focusing a lot when it comes to their performances and building that a little bit more. Vocals and raps were there as always. It definitely started to focus a little bit on performances because they saw that that was what attracted the public to the Boyz since being on those two shows. So like I said, they were on IST Entertainment. Now I think I mentioned this company before, but I don't exactly remember when. This company has been around since 2011. There's a lot of changes, a lot of merging together throughout the years that this company has been active. As for the artists that are under this company, when I was seeing it here in this page, they do have trainings and all of that, but it still lists two groups here as under this company. So it says that it has A-Pink, Victon, and ATBO. Now, as far as I know, all APIC members and all members from Victon actually left this company already. So I don't know if it is that this page hasn't been updated, or if it is that if they ever decide to do a group comeback, they will do it under IST Entertainment. I don't know if that's the case, but this page still has listed these two groups as part of the company. The only group that I know is still in this company is ATBO, which nobody knows anything about them as far as I know, unless news has come around and I haven't seen it. This group was the one that formed the crew one with Just Be. They went to Kingdom? They went to one of those shows like that, and it went well. I feel like, if you don't know, that group was formed because both groups were struggling and they decided to form that group as a last chance, and I feel like that show helped them a lot, and then nothing else, and the group just poof disbanded. I think there was like a statement or something about it, but it just poof. So now ATBO is on this company, but nothing has been said. Ooh, there's a fly, you probably saw it. It went up to the camera. Nothing has been said about this group, so I don't know exactly what is happening with them. I don't know too much about them. That company is not the greatest, you know, things. I always say these companies are not perfect. There's pros and cons with all of them, and this company has a little bit more awful things that they have done, in my opinion. I feel like they're still around. I don't know if they're gonna debut any other group. I don't even know if they got the money for that, but we will see. What happened between the Boyz in IST Entertainment, I can barely say their name, is when they all left. It was on November 15, 2024 that everything happened. I think it was because the contract was going to end in December of that year. But there were news. I'm gonna leave this one below. I'm not gonna read everything. But in November was that the announcement was made that the Boyz was going to leave IST Entertainment and they were all going to sign into a new company. It was Tendencia reported that the Boyz will part with the current agency IST Entertainment and that other members will move agencies together and sign exclusive. He says that 100 confirms the news, sharing while talking with the Boyz members. It was great to see other members trying to move agencies together. We hope to create a new chapter together with the Boyz members who showcase the greatest teamwork. We plan to fully support the Boyz members in their group activities and also support them in showcasing their individual capabilities. that it's late. I can barely read. Fans were a little bit happy about this because again there wasn't too many good talk about IST Entertainment and the treatment that the boys were getting under that company. It did surprise me how they did it though, because it is very rare to see a group moving all together to a company. Usually they leave the company, one of the members from a company, and they do comebacks like that. Or like Teen Top, for example, even though they're in different company, just recently they did a comeback, but it was under Top Media, which is the company that had Teen Top before. That's usually what it is. So seeing a whole group moving to another one is very rare, but they did it. Fanbase kept growing. Like IST Entertainment were taking the chances with that. Yes, they were giving group comebacks and all of that, but when it came to solo activities, I feel like they probably had a lot of questions as to why the members weren't doing solo activities. There were probably a lot of things coming around for them to do solo, and I always felt like IST Entertainment weren't doing that and they were focusing on the group, which is fine, but solo activities are also good. You know, so I always felt that way. But when it happened, apparently they were worried about the name because it is trademarked, the Boyz. So from what I read, 100 was trademarking names that were very similar just in case the Boyz couldn't stay with their name, and there were a lot of talk of that specifically. But on December 5 was that they announced that the Boyz were actually going to be able to keep the name. So 100 actually released a statement. It says, today December 5, through a meeting with IST Entertainment, we amicably, I cannot say that, came to a mutual agreement about the use of the Boyz trademark and 3 major points of discussion. After resolving a past misunderstanding, opening up in an honest conversation, our company and IST Entertainment came to an agreement that can make everyone happy while prioritizing the members of the Boyz and their fans to be. We would also like to sincerely thank IST Entertainment, who came to the discussion with an open mind. We feel sorry for having even briefly caused discomfort to the Boyz who are preparing for a fresh start, and their fans to be. 100 would do our almost to actively support the Boyz so that they can maintain and improve the talents they have built as an artist up till now. We would like to thank the B and IST Entertainment family who have walked the Boyz path together with them for the past 7 years, and we ask for your continued interest and loving support in the future as well. So they were able to stay with the name. The thing that I think they weren't able to stay with, there's something flying around, was socials, because while I was looking a little bit, I saw 2 socials and one wasn't updated since December of 2024. So the socials were the ones that they didn't keep. That surprised me. I have said this before, I think. If not, I'm saying it now, because this happened with Alexa, this happened with Shunha, it happened with Wayne, I think. When they left their company, they didn't keep their socials. It doesn't surprise me. I have a theory about this. I think it's because those socials, that would be here YouTube and the other ones, still generate money for the company, and they wouldn't want the idol to have those socials and have that money, because those things are still gonna get views, especially the videos that they got here on YouTube. So I think by not giving them the social, the company is still gonna make money for whatever the idol release under the company, you know what I mean? So they will have that money to do whatever they want with them, because the artist is not there anymore. That's always what I have thought about groups not being able to keep their socials whenever they move, or solo artists or whatever. That's always what I thought, in my opinion, but maybe I'm completely wrong and maybe there's a whole different reason. But still, it doesn't make sense. The artist is not under your company anymore, so why would you need the social? Just give it to them. But usually that doesn't happen. They're now under 100. Let's look about 100. This company hasn't been around a lot. It was founded on July of 2023. It was founded by MC Mon and Sha-Ga-Won in 2023. Like I said, there is subsidiaries company on this. You have BPM Entertainment, which I think is the one that Taemin and Babylon are under, Million Market, and IMB 100, which that's the one that some of the EXO members are on it. I think it's EXO CBX, I think is the name, and they only have the Boyz right now as a group. They're not managing anything else from what I saw, so they're fairly new. They did a comeback in March of 2025. It was a full album called Unexpected, and the title track was VVV. It was really good. It was definitely a fresh start. You could see the change, and I think people are very excited about the new music, and how you could see that they were excited to start something new and start doing new things that they probably wanted to do. And it was nice seeing it. This move probably meant that they were probably gonna get a little bit more promotion, more comebacks, more solo activities in specifically. And then things started happening. Around this time also was that the leader went to the military service. It started with the member Hackneon. If you realize, I didn't mention him before because he was kicked out of the group. I don't know exactly how to say it. He didn't leave because he wanted to, as far as I know and as far as I have read. But essentially what happened with him was that on June 18, it was reported that he met with a former Japanese adult video actress, Asuka Kirara is what I'm reading here. This happened in May, and there were allegations of prostitution and all of that. Now, as far as I know, the little bit here and there that I read, that is illegal. Even if you're in another country, if you receive those services, it's illegal. You can go into investigation and it's even jail time because of it, I think, unless I read wrong. Rumors started happening. The company decided to put him on hiatus while they confirmed things. A complaint filed, so they would investigate him. Somewhere did it. It was somebody. It doesn't tell me. I didn't put who because I don't think they ever say who it was, but somebody filed a complaint to investigate him. And I think that ended on nothing. I think the police said that there wasn't enough evidence or anything like that, so he was clear of the charges. On June 19 of 2025, they released that he was leaving the Boyz due to personal matters. They put a statement which is a little bit long, but we will see. It says, "Hello, this is 100. As soon as we were informed the issues involving Hackney's private life, our company immediately suspended his activity and took time to thoroughly, oh my god, verify the facts. As a result, we have come to recognize the seriousness of the issue and have clearly determined that it is no longer possible for us to maintain the trust in him as an artist. After sufficient discussion with the members of the Boyz, we have made the final decision for Hackneon to depart the team and to terminate his exclusive contract. We ask for your deep understanding as this decision was an unavoidable measure to protect the members and the team. We would like to inform you that as of today, he was going to cease our activities as the Boyz member." They keep saying that they're going to support the rest of the members. They always say this, and they again apologize for everything. So they released this, and then he went radio silent, the member. I got a little bit worried, okay, because I didn't want anything to happen to him. And then on June 20, there were reports of him taking legal actions. He went into his Instagram and he posted a statement about it. Now this statement is very long and I'm not gonna read everything. I'll try to summarize it a little bit. It's basically starting with making it clear that he has not engaged in any illegal activities like the reports were saying, and he does say that he was going to pursue all possible civil and criminal legal action against everybody that was talking about it. If there's any evidence that I engaged in prostitution, I urge that it may be made public immediately. Furthermore, I have never withdrawn from the group, nor have I ever consented to the termination of my exclusive contract. It said, despite there being no valid reason for contract termination as outlined in my contract, my agency is attempting to fabricate such ground. The agency demanded that I pay over 2 billion won, which is approximately 1.4 million in USD, in compensation and leave the company, but I never accepted these demands. Nevertheless, the agency informed the press that my contract termination had been finalized. This is bluntly falsehood. As is truly the role of an agency which is supposed to protect his artists to literally, oh my god, expel me from the team simply because I happen to be at a private gathering with a well-known person, to pressure me to contract termination while threatening over 2 billion won and damages. When I refused to accept the contract termination, the agency sent me a notice claiming the contract has been terminated due to my wrongdoing, ignoring the proper procedures outlined in the contract, and even issue warnings regarding compensation claims. He kept saying about how he was feeling, all of that, and that he was being silent, but he wanted to reveal the truth. He kept saying that it's very unfair what the company did to him, and that he was going to, you know, legal action, all of that. And then the company did release another statement answering to what he was saying on Instagram. They're basically saying that what he was saying was false. We initially decided to suspend his activities after recognizing that the matter at hand could cause significant harm to the group's activity. After we truly reviewed the situation, we made him fully aware that the incident constituted grounds for contract termination under Article 6, Clause 3 of his exclusive contract, which refers to conduct that damages the dignity of an artist to the extent that it interferes with entertainment activities. We then made the decision. Yeah, they're saying that the termination of the contract was carried with terms and all of that were in the contract, and that they were justified by it, and that they were not going to respond to anything else. Nothing else had been said as far as I know. There hasn't been any updates, but this was a mess. And the thing is, I do understand the company in a way, because, you know, they don't want anything that will harm the group. I understand, but also it didn't take that long for you to kick him out of the group. You know what I mean? It's just, there's two sides to the story, but it was a mess. It was a whole thing. Also, this was around the time that one of the CEOs of the company was leaving, and a lot of people were like, he probably has to do something with it. I don't know, I didn't find anything about that. It was a mess. So far there hasn't been any updates. He hasn't updated anything about it. It did leave fans angry, and from what I saw, it wasn't with him, it was with the company. Yes, there were fans angry at him and all of that. The fans were more angry at the company and how they handle things. But if there is a clause like that in the contract, I think it just means if we do something wrong and we see it, we're not gonna go through the trouble of protecting you. We're just gonna kick you out and done, because we're not going through that. That's how it feels, that clause thing. It looks like, for me at least. I think from there on everything went downhill, because like I said, this happened in June. It was on July 9 that they announced that the Boyz were preparing for a comeback with their 10 mini album. It was called A Effect, and the title track was Stylish, if I better remember. They put the schedule, which I'll put a picture of it and everything, and that the comeback was going to happen on July 28th. I'll leave this article below. It talks a little bit more about it in detail. It hasn't been a month since they lost a member, and they're gonna do a comeback. I think this has been prepared before. A comeback takes forever to do, okay? Single, mini album, full album, they all take different times to make. Singles are a little bit quicker, which is why we're seeing a lot of singles lately. Mini albums, full albums take a little bit longer. Pick songs, record, teasers, photos, music video, everything. It's a longer process. They probably have a lot of songs that they gotta pick. Which one is the title track, record them. Everything takes a while with mini albums and full album. In less than a month, they couldn't have done this. They had to be preparing for this way before everything happened. And if that's the case, they had less than a month to redo everything, regroup, probably re-record, probably re-edit everything to do this. They could have printed the mini albums and everything by this point, because if he was preparing for this, it would be a mess. And again, in less than a month, you wouldn't have, you know what I mean? Unless everything happened and they were like, no, crashing, record everything again, music video, everything, and they announced it. That must have been intense. Even after, you know, not having a member, it's like you didn't even give them time to breathe and regroup and be like, okay, let's do this. But no, they're doing the comeback either way. Let's go. Because why not wait until everything calmed down? Even if you had the date, push it back a bit. They just lost a member. They had to regroup again, everything. Redo everything that they have been preparing for this comeback. Why not give them time? Because now it looks like, in my opinion, that because this happened and people were talking about the Boyz, and you're like, this is our chance. You know, people here are talking, and the company's here, and they're like, oh, this is our chance because people are talking about them. If we do a comeback, either it will shift the conversation that is happening here, or it will get in that conversation and maybe it'll attract more people. Both looks awful, but it looks that way as if they waited a little bit longer, let the waters calm down because everybody was just angry at that time. Everything calmed down and then also come back. Even if you had to do it in August or October, it doesn't matter. Even if you lost a little bit of money because of it, still they had to lose a lot of money if they had to redo things. But even if it was extra money, at least everything has calmed down and people will be focusing on the comeback, because I feel this didn't do as well as it should have been for the Boyz comeback. It didn't. Now again, this time, yes, I was following them a little bit more, but before that I wasn't. So if anybody was, please let me know if this comeback did the same as the other ones or if it was not as good. In my opinion, it wasn't. Also, there was a whole thing happening with this because there was a teaser that came out about it and people were worried about which member was it? I wrote it down. New, I think it was. He was wearing something that looks, or it was possibly a drag. This is something that is black culture. Companies still use it on the idols. I don't understand why. It has been said a lot that this is something that black culture uses. I was looking for a statement for the company about this because people were talking about this when the teaser came out. I couldn't find anything. All I found was a clip of Kevin and Jacob talking about this, which I'll put it so you can see it.
Okay, we're gonna address it?
Yeah.
Alright, so basically, let me just start off by saying we are not in charge. Obviously we can voice our opinions, but we are not in charge of the final outcome or confirmation. But we did see our outfits for one of the outfits for the music video, because we get like a preview of what each member is gonna wear. And yes, we saw the do-rag and we said, okay, let's not do that, and we voiced our opinion. But apparently it was like a beanie with legs, and I went through the same situation because I had a very similar beanie that had legs basically, and so that's what they thought as well.
But yeah, we did voice our opinions, but that is what happened.
They were already shooting and then I went, and apparently they had made an attempt to make it less like that, but then I said, oh, I don't think it still looks too much like that, so they cut it shorter for the other shots. But yeah, just know that we are conscious of what everyone is feeling, and it's not going to be seen anymore. I mean, we can't really do much about what's been already shot, but in the future, you're not going to see it. Thank you for voicing your opinions, and we are aware.
But they were both explaining essentially that they voiced their opinions, but they were shut down because it wasn't a drag. Now Kevin did went to something like this before where he bought something and he did show it to the fans and were like, hey, how can I wear this if I can wear this, because it looked like a drag. Hopefully I'm saying it right, I'm sorry if I'm not. Because he wanted to something like this, you know, the members were saying it like, hey, this might look like this, I don't think we should use it, and they were like, it's not the same thing. When I saw the clip, I got a little bit worried because, again, my opinion of this whole changing company is that they were going to have a little bit more freedom, a little bit more power when it came to decisions, and this happening is like, do they not have that? Are they being ignored? Are their opinions not being heard of? Are they being pushed aside? Are they not able to make decisions that may benefit the group? You know what I mean? Because if I'm in a company and an idol came to me and it's like, hey, I know we're being sold this way, but I'm worried that this might be crossing into black culture and we don't want that, I would be like, okay, what part of it? This? Hey, how can we change this? I'll in the moment take my phone and research and be like, okay, let's see. Okay, I see what you mean, thank you. How can we change this so that doesn't happen, because my idol is voicing an opinion here and I want him to be heard. Maybe that's just me. You know, maybe the stylist didn't see it that way. I don't know. But it was weird. I was like, in the fact that I couldn't find a statement for the company, I think they only said that they were going to edit it out as much as they could, which I think they did, but still. And then the last thing was the tour. On September of this year, they announced that they were going to do a tour. It was called the Blaze, and there were a lot of cities on this. Actually, wait, this one tells me more. Okay, they were going to be held from August to later. It was supposed to be a world tour. They announced a few of the dates, and then more cities were going to be announced, but it got canceled. Why? Because dates keep getting canceled. It went from August to November. That is not a world tour. They went to Seoul, they went to a few places in Japan. It was 4 in Japan, and they went to Indonesia. Dates, they canceled 4 dates, and everything said that the reason was because of local circumstances, but everything was being canceled while the tour was happening. That's the sad thing. And I was like, my baby's heart must be getting broken at this point. They barely did a tour. The company did release a statement. We're informing that the concert schedules from Macau and Taipei were cancelled due to local circumstances, and that both the artists and the management made every effort to proceed with the concerts, but that wasn't possible, that they were going to refund everything, and that the tour was going to finish in Indonesia, and that they will not be adding any shows, anything else. So that was the end. So it wasn't even a full tour. I'm pretty sure they were supposed to add like a USA date, everything, nothing. Now the USA right now is awful back there. Visas are expensive, so I understand. It's hard right now for small groups to be able to do concerts there, because everything is expensive. It's like one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. When did they announce the cancellation? It was in September that they announced the cancellation. Like, the cancellations in the sense of, there's no more date, this is all. A member from the Boyz, Eric, did a live, I'm guessing, because all I saw were clips talking about it.
There has been, and there still are, a lot of, what should I say? Some disappointments that are happening to all of us, not only the Bees, but the Boyz, us as well. So, I just feel bad. And I'm sorry that you guys had to go through what you guys are going through, or you guys had to go through. But I want to make it all clear that before I say anything more, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, I'm not blaming anyone, and I'm not here to start any fights or start any problems or, anything. So just want everyone out there watching, or will be watching this, to know this, and let's just all give it a second thought, okay? Okay, so about the cancel, like I said, no one wanted the tour to be canceled like this. I'm not saying all tour, but we still have Jakarta, but there's no one who enjoys cancellation. There's no one who wants that ever, especially the members and the Bees and the company as well. We would go to any cities, any countries, even if there's one W. That's my, what should I say, my thought and my heart, my truthful heart. I would go anywhere, no matter how many W's there are, even if it's just 1, 2, 5, 10, 100, a couple hundreds, thousands, or 10,000s, or whatever. I would go. I would stand on that stage. I would perform for you guys. I would sing for you guys. I would just do my best to have fun and make you guys you know, time of your life and have a great time together. In life, I feel like things doesn't go as you want it to always, and things doesn't go as it's planned sometimes. And as a person who wants to be perfect and who is, you know, just who wants to give my best on whatever I do, it's such a big frustration for me as well. A lot of W's probably, you know, did a lot of, I know you guys do a lot of things, such as like, you know, save up money for the Boyz tour, or book a hotel, or book a flight, book a plane, get ready for the concert, like get frisbees all ready to give out to other fellow W friends, and get the outfit ready for the concert, to have fun, and to get the members' attention, you know, all that. And you guys probably, you know, had to get a day off from work to see us, to come to our concert. And we are all aware of those, and I don't know, I just wish I could do something about those, at least, to make it up. I really want to. I don't know. If I can only actually do it, I would actually pay all the penalty fees just out of my pocket. Because I feel like that's the least I could do right now. From the condition that I'm in right now. But I mean, I can't do that obviously. But just know that I would. But instead, I promise you guys that next tour, no cancellation, nothing. I promise you guys that 100%. Under my name, Eric Son, Magni of the Boyz. I promise you guys that next one will not be the same as this one this year. And next year will not be the same as this year. I promise you guys that next year it's gonna be different in a lot of ways, and it's gonna be better for sure. Fingers crossed. And
I saw them and my heart was breaking for this man. You could see how sad and how just frustrating he was feeling with everything. A lot of people were talking that it was because of ticket sales, it wasn't selling, and probably that wasn't going to up the cost or anything, like being able to cost USA tour dates. I'm not being able to talk about ticket sales because I wasn't able to like see it while they were selling, if it was selling or not, so I don't know too much about that part. I will say concerts right now are a mess, especially the USA. Here in Puerto Rico we had 3, a card, a subunit Dream Casher came, UAU if I remember. Right now in December all hours are coming, and card is coming back again. Last year we had like 1 concert each month. I feel like USA is a mess right now with visas and everything, so smaller groups I feel like are having a hard time, because even if they book smaller venues they have to crank up the price up to be able to cost for visas and everything, and because they're not selling it because it's very expensive, they end up canceling either dates or the tour. That has been happening, so it doesn't surprise me if this has something to do with that as well. That is just my opinion, that's just what I think might have happened. Still, I don't know if it was 100, if they were working with another company for this and something happened. Who knows? We don't know what happens behind the scenes, behind those doors. But it got cancelled. So far, I haven't seen anything. I know that they are going to have a subunit with, remember, Hyunjae, Joohyun, and Sunwoo. They are going to release a single. I think they already released the single. It was this week that it was going to get released. It was Tiger. Something like that, I think. And I haven't seen anything. They haven't announced a comeback. Maybe some new tours, solo activities. I haven't seen anything about solo activities either, I feel like. Again, another thing that I'm thinking should have been happening for now, and I haven't seen anything unless I miss one. I want to add this very quickly, but as the end of the year is near, a lot of the award shows are happening, and the Korea Grand Music Awards happened. The Boyz were on it, and they actually won a grand prize. I think this is the first time they're winning a grand prize. I think it is called the Sun, but it was the Grand Honors Choice, and I saw the clip. They look very happy, very surprised. I got very happy, and honestly, I'm hoping this is just a signal that things are gonna be better in the future next year. And yeah, just wanted to add that very quickly because it happened after me recording this. Right now, I think they're coming up to the first year in this company. It's a mess. I love this group. I saw them get popular because of the shows. People love their music. I think that happened to a lot of people while they were watching them on the show, I feel like. And their popularity keeps getting hit with all of this. And it doesn't seem like it's gonna stop, you know, like break or something. It's just one thing after the other. It has made people stop following them, because that's something that I read a lot while I was looking information. A lot of people being like, yeah, I'm not following them anymore because of what they did to the member. I'm not following anymore because I'm not very happy with how the company is treating them. That's basically what I have been seeing a lot, and I feel like that's it affected the tour. It affected the comeback that they did with Stylish, I feel like, in my opinion. Oh my god, seeing just struggle to do something for the fans, and when they try to do something, it doesn't work out because something happens that just prevents it. It's just sad. Like, I think after all, it's just frustration what I'm feeling, because I know they're a very good group, and seeing the fan base go down, it's just, and the company not doing anything, it's just frustration. I think what I'm feeling mainly is frustration and worry about them. It's sad to see them having to go live and explain themselves, everything, because either the statement that the company did doesn't, or the company didn't release a statement, so now they're explaining it to the fans. So it's like, I understand that, you know, idols are always gonna go live and explain themselves, and that is totally fine, but the company should do it before them, you know, release a statement, and then the idol go live and be like, yeah, we saw it, but we want to bring also our opinion to everything so you guys understand. It should be like that. Why is it so weird with this company? Now, the company that they were before is awful, but this one, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. They're a new company, in a way. 2023 they were founded. They just got the Boyz, a big fandom trying to still keep them there and nothing happening. I'm thinking they're just learning as they go. I'm thinking this was just a learning process, and they're learning. I'm gonna keep saying learning. I'm just gonna think that they're learning and that they're like, okay, let's see how we're gonna handle this, because this is the first group, and they are taking notes so it doesn't happen again, so next year is better and it's stronger, and the Boyz can do a lot, and the fandom keeps growing, and nobody leaves. Hoping that the members can do more group and solo things next year, that everybody's good, healthy, and that we're able to do things with the fans. I'm hoping that the fandom keeps growing, because again, they're gonna have to do the military service. They're gonna keep leaving, so they need to do something, and I'm hoping they're able to do what they want to do before they keep going to the military service. Seeing people leave from your fandom, it's sad. This is a mess. I have never seen a group be so high up, changing companies, and just come crashing down. And again, I'm not blaming them, because they did what they had to do to keep the group together. Maybe this is the best way they found to make it happen, and I applaud them for that, because it's not easy what they did. But this company is a mess. It's a mess, and I'm hoping they're learning. Let me know what y'all think. Have you heard anything else that I didn't cover this? Please let me know in the comments below. Again, everything that I read, I'll leave it below, and videos and everything, I'll leave them below for you guys to see and read everything if you want. That's all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing great, and I'll be seeing you all on the next video. Bye bye.